have a gift that nobody can see, that was handed over to us to do something amazing. Take the gift, man. Take the gift. Take the gift, man. And let the Most High work in you to do something you have never believed.
I ain't even impressed what you expect. You see this shit? Hold on, there's one West on my chest.
One West world. That's it.
Fucking street code, little priest law. No stain, great Dane with the leash off. I ain't nothing of this world, I need a respawn. I just know they wish that I would stop, but I keep going. These fringes on my calf like a tube sock. I used to stuff the loose ones in my shoebox. And we came a long way from the curbside. Now we looking from the top from a bird eye. And I can't leave my brother on the battlefield. Lord, let the hell rain, we gon' see who real. And you know they gon' hate when they see a plate. So imagine what they doing for $250,000. And we really the only ones going to war. You niggas just be talking like y'all won the war. I made love to this truth and there's no divorce. My Spanish mommy call me Poppy like a corner store. Let me show you how to do it. City living by the word, I think it's time he proved. I think you better use your head before you fucking lose it. And say the acting for the camera, this is not a movie. I pray to God I don't fall off. I ain't nothing like y'all. Niggas think they slime, cut their head off a python. Blame me for my outlook, never counted the lookouts. The world said I wasn't shit, but look how I turned out. Not so bad, huh? Why you mad, huh? We go hard, but go harder for the have-not. Listen, when that oil hit your leg, then you can't stop. Your feet better hit the ground running, this shit bedrock. Man, we tried to put him on, but he sleep. Waking up the people, that's the job for a priest. Hopped out the wheel, fringes swinging like a pendulum. You heard of the tribes, where the fuck you think they get it from? Look, I'm a soldier, get the order, then I get it done. Got some big shit to split the water, make these niggas run. Why you hurt? If I told the truth, then I showed you love. Let me prove it, wanna move right, let me show you how to do it. Let me show you how to do it. City living by the word, I think it's time he proved. I think you better use your head before you fucking lose it. And say the acting for the camera, this is not a movie.
Don't step over the line though. Everybody, anybody, it's up for everybody. And that's not, I got bigger fish to fry. I got people to say it. I ain't even on a rap, so I already beat the rap shit.
Check me out, dog. Roll the window up, man. The water. Ain't no better, dog, brother. The son of a king. I don't Balenciaga. I might just wear a collar. I might just wear the Pradas. But I'm thinking long term, so I might say the dollars. We ain't no better, I'm just being honest. I should've went to college, but I was thinking violence. This a one West world, we the fucking livest. Break it down, we break ground, we don't break no damn promise. Let's get active, dog, don't tell me how you feel about it. These cats saying too much, they ain't learn enough. You maxed out the first quarter, I'm still warming up. These niggas tossing up a brick, they can't score with us. Who gon' come against us? On the Lord with us. Them niggas riding for you, I hope they rise till they crash. Put my name in your mouth, I put my belt to your ass. I ain't running no race, I just hope that I last. All them niggas you look up to, I consider them trash. Only time you seen a leader was in Wayne hand. Niggas will dap you, then pop you with the same hand. I'm a main player, I stick to the game plan. He don't really fuck with you, that's your main man. We them niggas came through and made your city hot. Yup, said he in the field, but he really not. And I ain't casting no stone, I just let him rock. And that's the kind of story they gon' read about. But if it's war, it ain't no tapping out. Grip still heat, spit like a dragon mouth.
Yeah. I want West in I place once more. Yeah, easy. You wanna know where I come from? You wanna know where I come from? I believe. You wanna know where I come from? I don't pan the Middle East, but y'all out the West one give the kid peace. Me take over to pretty Christine. A big broad smile and giggling teeth. Have a brand new 4-5 pretty crisp clean. We deal with the chica press pretty pristine. Them say them bad but we no intrigue. If you this now you top then killing increase. And we no join both sides. One West are the best you fi know why. You put a S on your chest when the chrome pint. Every bone a broke we left lone tribe. Make a force right boy if you know your size. Don't see me on the street and a force fight. You get ratchet knife in your throat pipe. Man who make your job flesh like your ghost rise. Give up the ghost, make it both wise. Y'all shut up, bend over, pan to a pint. Fuck you, make you get wet like a boat ride. If you hold tight, y'all, me a hold tight. Alright, no later, then more time. Me have things to do, but got more fight. Look you at the nanny, girl, do a bright. When we shoot the bumbo clad, you a grind. That's where me come from. I don't pan the Middle East, but y'all out the West one get the kid piece. Me step over to pretty Christine. A big broad smile and giggling teeth. Have a brand new 4-5 pretty crisp clean. We deal with the chica press pretty pristine. Them say them bad but we no intrigue. If you this now you talk then yeah, them too bad, I just smoke them off, I just slogan. You coulda big and tough like Hulk Hogan. You get your own a bag, you get total. Send your soul to God, the best no God. The whole fucking clip of your own that. No consent, no chop for your own bat. I go get sent off, we run postal. Get a PO box. She say me handsome, she want hold me cocky at ransom. She want hood fi broke, she want yam some. She say breed me, give me that one son, boy. We have shotgun, we have Remington, we have Magnum. So if a beef you want, you can have some. Anything we come turn in a phantom. And where we come from, I don't pan the Middle East, but y'all out the West one get the kid piece. Me step over to pretty Christine. A big broad smile and giggling teeth. Have a brand new 4-5 pretty crisp clean. We deal with the chica press pretty pristine. Them say them bad but we no intrigue. If you this now you talk then killing increase. Increase. You know, yeah, easy. I want what's in I building. You know when we come through, just hide the gal them and hide the liquor. Warning.
Say this from me heart on a rum chat. Here we contact, get your gunshot. Make the sun dark and the ground black. We plant calm but I never agriculture. I know the eagle in the younger the vehicle when young people that are the vulture. Say them evil never the vulture. They coulda run pan diesel that a people away the blood clot. Do some gun back. Away the blood clot. Do some gun back. Easy we coulda squeegee inna the Honda. Sleepy gunshot beat him inna him slumber. Greedy fi make them dopey a the younger. Glad say me nah pre when me the younger. That no mean say no pussy can try. Pussy try run up and give with them life. Can't see penalty give with 3 points. This one West boy you must see one die. Away the blood clot. Do some gun back. Away the blood clot. Do some gun back. Don't stop war with we. You will see, you'll see. My thought them are real. Better agree. Don't stop war with we.
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Hey,
Good to see
Shalom,
you.
Adonia. How about you, Shabbat?
Shalom, how about you, Shabbat, man? Long time no see. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you.
Okay.
Okay. Can you hear me well? Can you see me well?
Kind of, sir.
Okay.
Kawakaya,
I'm gonna
Salami
do better with the
Abashishaba.
background. We have another one of these. I'm gonna do better with the background. I'm getting crushed by these backgrounds back here, man.
Hey,
I'm in the damn Appalachian Mountains, y'all, and
it's
y'all are
getting
on
nice.
Mars with the Lord. Salaki.
Yeah, Mosai in Christ, sir. It's Salaka. If I could, just a quick intro to all the brothers. Shalami Abashishaba. You understand? To all the sisters, Yahweh Shemal Atan Bashim Yahweh Shai. This is another episode of One West Ground Zero Radio Podcast, the best show in Canada. You already know what it is today. You understand? Hosted by Officer 1000, Ariyar, and myself, also 500 Barak Yala. We have a special guest today. You understand? Our own quantum physicist, the only
Right.
quantum physicist that is legit. Why? Because he's in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge under Commanding John YAHANNA. You already know who that is. This is the smartest human being on the planet. Officer 5000, Ahban, YAHANNA. What's going on, sir? Christ.
The water. I appreciate the intro. Appreciate the kind words again. Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Command John YAHANNA. Since 1969, we've been teaching the truth. I'm glad to be on this excellent show that you all have up north. Let's get to it. What are we doing?
Yeah, Mosai in Christ, sister. Like, y'all. And before we get to the show to get the One West perspective of what's going on around the world in pop
Okay.
culture and our community, right? We'd like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind, of course.
Sure, that's no sweat. What's going on?
So, like, I'm not sure if Officer Aria, would you like to start or?
No, go ahead, priest. You got it.
So, like, sir, with your knowledge, right? So yesterday, Officer Aria and myself were in an app called Beagle. You know, you get into battles or whatnot. There's a sister which actually came to the Passover in Atlanta.
Okay.
She made a comment about the climate because she's in London, right? Of how becoming a Muslim country in the UK, which is pretty similar to Canada, and she said she's going to have no choice but to come into the school for protection.
Wow.
Right. I wanted to get your insight on that. What do you think about that specific comment that she made?
So she's saying that because, and this is London specifically, correct?
Kawakan.
Yeah, she's saying because London's becoming majority Muslim, she's saying that she needs to come to the truth for protection.
Kawakan.
I mean, based on my knowledge of the situation over there, I would say that's accurate. And I'd say that for any woman of the 12 tribes of Israel in that area or in another area where they're experiencing great cultural shocks, which is really what's going on over there. You're experiencing an influx of people who may or may not, respect particularly the British culture, particularly the English culture, what have you. And like we said before, I'm sure men above me have said, who knows why they're letting all these people in, because over here in Canada and in the States, we're the poster child for illegal immigration, right? Haitians, West Indians, Mexicans, etc. But over there and in Europe, we're getting reports that they're running amok over there, and it's not as widely spoken about. I mean, the Muslim population isn't as widely spoken about as being the so-called issue in regards to illegal immigration in terms of it bringing.
So, like I said, your sound cut off now.
Say again.
So, like I said, your sound cut off for a few seconds.
How am I now? Am I back?
Kawakan, sir.
Okay.
Kawakan.
So, all right, Dwight, I appreciate it. So, in any event, in cultures that are at odds with England, and again, you people coming to England from all different countries that are not necessarily fond of England. So yeah, I would say that she's absolutely correct, and I would say that in general, man or woman, it's high time to come into the truth. There's a lot of things happening on the planet. There's a lot of things that are going to happen very soon, particularly in the United States, that are going to shock the planet. The United States is on its way out. Okay, Canada as well is on its way out. The Western nations, European nations, are on their way out. Their currencies are depreciating quickly. They're quickly beginning to realize that having an industry based on pornography and on selling drugs to poor people and oppressing poor people doesn't work long term. They're going to need actual stuff and resources. China has stuff. China makes stuff. And so what they're beginning to realize is that they also need stuff. They don't have stuff. So, and it's become too expensive to make those items. So there's a lot of things that are going to shake up financially for each and every one of us, politically for these nations. Of course, we're apolitical here in the I.S.U.P.K, but to her point, she's absolutely correct. And I would extend this to any man or woman. You need to come to the truth, for protection. I know in England they're having an issue with the Muslims in regards to what they call here, respecting women or understanding that in the West, you have different boundaries. In a lot of these countries, man, first of all, child molestation is normal. It's absolutely normal. The only place where child molestation is not normal in the status quo is a place that adopts or has adopted Judeo-Christian principles. What do I mean by that? The Bible. Okay. They've adopted it erroneously, meaning they've lied on the Bible, but nonetheless, that standard of not abusing the weak, taking care of the poor, and not lording over people tyrannically, that's only found in the Bible. Without that, child molestation, without that, Allah says that I should have access to you, British woman. I'm going to do it on the train, on the bus, in the restaurant, whether I've asked you or not. No consent, none of that. All this stuff they're talking about with, so-called red pill, how to handle women, game and stuff like that, all that comes from the Bible on how to deal with a woman. If you see her in the field, you can't take her kicking and screaming. You would spit game to her so you can understand today. You would talk to her. You would seduce her. You would bag her. You would entertain, entertain, serenade, whatever they call it now, her, and whether if she accepts and you move forward and there's rules based on that. If she doesn't, you move it the hell along. But Akim, in other cultures, they don't have that. They do not have that. She says yes, or in other cultures, most other cultures on the planet, it's hit her over the head and drag her to a cave or the nearest woods. And then guess what? You're married. They have no say in this. So also, I'm going to end it here. To her point as well, feminism, etc., anything pro-women, again, it comes from the Bible, because there is no religion that values, there's no major religion or ancient religion that values taking care of those less gifted or skilled than you and those weaker than you. Polytheism, all these gods, the pantheon, Greek and Roman gods, the ancient Middle Eastern gods, which are now in Islam, those gods favor taking advantage of the weak, and women are physically weaker than men. This is a fact. And so what you're going to have with all of these different peoples coming into these Western nations is you're going to have a divide between people that believe in something that is close to the Bible and people that don't, And so what I would say to everybody is this. Well, last thing, Salakia. What I would say to everybody is this: is if you see that these peoples from these different cultures are bringing these things into your country that you don't like, and the history of many of these Western cultures, in that they've taken the rules from the Bible. Thou shalt not unalive. Thou shalt not, SA or take a woman against her will. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not lie. These things are in the Bible, nowhere else, not in that comic book called the Quran, etc. If you see that what's good and right and just in a society comes from the Bible, why would you have anything negative to say about us? Why would you have anything negative to say about the men who come out on the streets all across planet Earth and unabashedly the Bible as it's written from cover to cover, in truth and in sincerity, and have been commissioned by God through his servants on the earth, the chief of them being Commander General YAHANNA, have been commissioned to go out and speak? Why would you have anything to say about us, and why wouldn't you join? So to her point, she should absolutely come on down. And yes, she and many like her in England are going to need protection of the Lord. As it says in the scriptures, it's in Isaiah somewhere, their women shall be ravished about Babylon. It's going to get real dark here real soon, as it is already. Go ahead.
So throw out the other one. Before I was gonna ask the other question, I just want to make just to add on to what you said, right? Because last week we actually played a clip of some Pakistani guy, an Uber driver, I think it was in Toronto, somewhere in Ontario, telling the white woman, if it was Pakistan, I would have already snatched you up. It's just because I'm in Canada, I can't do it. He literally said that. It's a lot.
There you go. And that's going to be a problem here in the future, and that's going to spark unrest, because the men in Canada, except for you all, except for the brothers in the truth, the men in Canada have not an ounce of testosterone left. You know what I mean? It's been sucked out of them if they even had any. So even still, they're going to get pissed off at this, and why wouldn't they be? To the so-called white man that's running these nations, to you billionaires, you technocrats, etc. What do you expect to happen here? Akim, imagine if your woman was in an Uber and she came home, she tells you that the guy said, had we been in Pakistan, I would have basically SA'd you by now. I'd have just snatched you off into some goddamn cave like Tarzan. No man's going to stomach her, and I don't care how nice or liberal he is at all. So they're, you know, putting together, setting the stage really for civil unrest, and it can be argued that this is what they want at the top, because then it can come sweep in with, all these rules, etc. You can't say this, you can't say that, be in bed at this time, etc., and use it as a means to build up their war chest. The last thing I want to say here on this is they're going to war. These nations, Canada, America, they're going to war. You cannot like it. You can kick and scream against it. You can say nothing ever happens, all this other nonsense. These nations here are going to war. And yeah, that's absolutely crazy, what I just heard from you. And if my woman said that, if my woman was told that, I'd have a problem as well. So, oh well. Go ahead.
The other one. What you spoke about the war just now, it goes kind of into my second question, right? What if you could give your stance on basically looking at the geopolitical climate and what's going on right now, whether it's the U.S. falling apart in Canada, we have a big heathen immigrant issue, right? I don't want to say issue, but for lack of better words, where Russia is already in the Americas. They're in Nicaragua. They just struck a deal with Venezuela to help them. We know Venezuela is not that friendly with the U.S. The Chinese are all over the three continents, whether it's the Caribbean, Central and South America, right? How would if you could give your stance on that, knowing that not only everybody really, including Canada, is separating themselves from the U.S., but also the quote unquote enemies of the U.S. are coming in right at their doorstep.
Yeah, well, again, like I said before, the fix is in the U.S. I think that it can be said that the "Make America Great Again" means exactly what's happening, and that is that America is no longer a global hegemony, meaning it's no longer a world power, but it becomes a regional power. Remember, Akim, America has only been a global power for about 100 years or so, post World War II. Before that, America was just another kid on the block. And I think that we're heading back to those days where, as the scriptures say, every man shall go back to his own land. And when that happens, you're going to have scientists, etc., that leave, financiers, wealthy people, etc., that leave this country that are not from here originally, like Elon Musk, and like many of the new billionaire families that are so-called Jewish, that are Middle Eastern Arab as well. They're going to go back to their countries of origin, Iran, Israel, etc., Pakistan, like you had mentioned, India, etc., China as well. And so what I think's happening here is that they're beginning to lose their grip. They're beginning to lose their grip, and the like you said, the other nations are closing in and are trying to get as close to America as possible. And I think on some level, this is what they want here in the United States, because again, you can't have scriptures say you can't serve two masters. So if we're going to be, not we being us, but if America is going to be a global power, then it can't be solely for itself. Do you understand what I'm saying? It can't be America first, because then it's global second. And if it's global second, the countries that are not global second, like China and Russia, are going to continue to gain power, gain wealth, and gain resources and gain land. So you really can't have it both ways. And so the question should be pondered as to whether they want America, they being the neocons and other rich Edomites in America, whether they want this place to continue as a world power or not. And that remains to be seen, in my opinion. You asked for my opinion personally. And I think that's what's going on. I think that there's a big fire sale on the planet. If you want to start something, a business, you want to get land, you can do it now. Everything's on sale. Everything's up for grabs. Any doctrine or ideology that was held in high esteem before is you can run it through you can run it through a cheese grater now. You can run it through a meat grinder. Christmas was uncontested and unchallenged. America's power on the earth was uncontested and unchallenged. Now all that's being challenged. All that's being challenged, religion, etc. To the resources, to the land itself, it's all for sale. It's all up for grabs. I think that's what you're saying now. Now everyone's trying to grab power, locally and internationally, and it's going to lead to the return of our Lord Jesus Christ. So to your point, them coming closer and closer to America is them inching closer to war.
Kawakasa, the water out one. I have one last question before I pass it to Officer Adayar. Is you see what you said about making America great again? So I just recently seen a post, right, that they're talking about making Europe great again. If I could get your stance on that, Baba Kushad.
Yeah. So again, these nations are looking less and less to the globe and looking more and more locally. And what you're seeing a rise of as well, I didn't mention this before, is nationalism. Nationalism, and nationalism is essentially the in a crude of the overarching and the great love for your nation over other nations and the love for your people. So what you're seeing more and more of, I know you're seeing it online with so-called anti-Semitism, right? Other groups of Edomites are making fun of Jewish people and calling them this and that. You're seeing more racism, particularly online, and allegedly racism here in the streets as well. A lot of nations are going to become nationalistic again, and that's great for us. You know why that's great for us? Because when each nation cares about itself, they're more likely to press against those that are against their own interests. And so you're going to see more and more frictions. It all goes back to that scripture in Esdras that we have been mentioning here throughout. You know, every man shall return to his own land. I'm loosely paraphrasing. You know, every beast loves his like, and you're going to see that amplified here on the earth. These things and these qualities were always there, right? You had the Nazis before that you had Rome, etc. They've always been down for their own people, and they've hated and been truly racist because they've had the power and they've killed millions of other Europeans, you know, Germans, Russians, etc. They've truly had the power to be racist against other Europeans, or racist, meaning hateful against their cousins, if you will. And they'll continue to do that here in the future. So that's what you're seeing more of. These countries are starting to become more and more insular, more and more radical, more and more nationalistic. And when you have that, you have in Europe, that's always been a powder keg for destruction since Napoleon, you know. And so that's what's going to happen here again. What we're witnessing is the great shakeup of global power. This has happened about every 200 years. It was the Dutch, then it was the Portuguese, then it was the Spanish, it was the English here now recently, and their daughter, America, and that's about to change. And a lot of people think it's going to be China, Russia, etc. But what's really going to shock them is that this is it. And after this, the bill is going to have IDR's face on it with some maple syrup. or some fried goat. I had fried goat, man. That fried goat in Toronto I had a couple years ago. That stuff, that was delicious, man. I don't know what I missed. I haven't had Haitian food in the world. I haven't really had much of it in the truth because of it's a lot of wind. Haven't had because of where I'm at up here in the Northeast. I have to go to maybe Boston would be no. New York has some. Maybe Bushwick or Brooklyn and get some real Haitian food. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's real good. Anyway, that was all on that point I had.
Kawakan, the water, sir. I'm gonna pass it to Officer Adayar.
Appreciate you.
Hey, Shalom, Adawan, Yahabashim, good to see you, Adawan. Well, I have a question which which is in two-part, Adawan, if you may. What made you choose the I.S.U.P.K? And also looking at, the different groups that are growing, inside the nation, we could say, what is your best advice to a brother, to not choose these other groups, but to be inside of the I.S.U.P.K?
Yeah, so firstly, what made me join the I.S.U.P.K was the militancy, in one word. So coming in, I had been told about the truth by a family member, right? And this, said you're a Jew, whatever. And I remember being told I was an Israelite. I could literally see the stars were dancing. It was like everything became clear. So one way I can summarize it to you. And so for for a while, for about a year or two, I've been listening to everything under the sun on YouTube. Where I lived outside the city. I was in the suburbs, so it wasn't around where it was all happening. There weren't a lot of black people where I was, and I just wasn't near the city. I was like 40 minutes or so from the city, so I was watching it on YouTube. long story short. And I saw every other group under the sun. And so one group would say one thing that's crazy, another group that would say another thing that's off the wall and insane. They had a lot of history, and like I think Jeremiah haven't mentioned it on I think it was a Monday class. They can rattle off a lot of facts. You know what I mean? Like they got a lot of knowledge, about Christopher Columbus, about the Earth being round, about Mars and the other planets and stuff like that. But looked it looked JV. And for those of you that don't know, that's junior varsity, like amateur. And my personality is such that I can't really get behind something if I'm not in something where the people I'm around are feared or are respected for, I guess I would say, being militant. In the world, it was, being feared or respected for other reasons, but it's a matter of blood. And they say blood reigns king. That's not really true, but I think it's simply because of my makeup. I had to be around men that were militant and men that, and that's just the only kind of group that I could have ever truly joined and truly been a part of, like I am with this one. I can't be around a group of dancing boys camping and dance with each other. I'm sure it's a lot of fun. I'm sure it's great if you're a woman, but not if you're a soldier. And that's what I am, a soldier, and that's who my family is. And so it would have either been this, or I would have been doing things or harming people at someone else's behest. And they call that in the world a mafia or a gang or Esau's military, but that's just who I am and who I was. So, Adi, your point, what made me choose it, I think, is a scripture where Christ said that my sheep hear my voice. And that's what I attribute it to. I remember the first class that I heard from Jeremiah Hyman. They broke down the scriptures. He broke down the scriptures in a way that I've never heard before. And one of the things the other groups don't do, fake Israelite groups don't do, is they'll read the Bible, but it's if you listen to that with church, in the world, I wasn't in church much, but I imagine how a church sermon would go is how they teach. Like you hear the scripture, you hear the breakdown, it's cool, but it's nothing, there's nothing behind it. You know what I mean? Either the person that's talking about it hasn't lived that experience, like don't be in a gang or don't hurt people. They haven't done that themselves, you know what I mean? Or it's just something that they've heard and they don't really live. And that's what we're beginning to see with Guerrilla Hebrew. That's what it is. They don't live this. You know what I mean? And with a man or woman that lives it, you can hear it when they speak about it. And I hear it in both of you. I hear it in, Cap Hadariala, shout out to him over Canada. I hear it in the brothers in Toronto. Shout out Zabaja, Toronto's finest. I joke with him about that.
Right.
Sharyuan, brother Sharyuan, etc., and all the brothers in the I.S.U.P.K and sisters. I hear it in you all, and so that's what drew me to the I.S.U.P.K. It's just a group that I could see myself being a part of, and I am a part of here for several years. Second point was on advice to a brother who is in the situation that I was in, and hearing other groups. Quite frankly, you should be enjoying whatever group you want to join. For me, it wasn't really a choice. Like that, I heard Jeremiah Hyman's class. I started going to the Sabbath service where the first class I started coming in. So at first, for like several months, I thought that's all it was. It was like we just come in on Saturdays. I was coming in flip flops, t-shirt, and shorts, and then that was that. But then I know we had the Monday class, etc. The first class I heard from Jeremiah Hyman, he was breaking down like W.E.B. Du Bois and scriptures about like revolutionaries or a revolutionary breakdown is what it was. And I had notes from other groups, the Purple and others as well. I tossed them all. I threw it all out. I couldn't go back and listen to them after the way we break down the scriptures. Class, it was revolting. Honestly, revolting, and it was gay. It is really gay to hear. And in the world, I wasn't in church because I thought I had the same sentiments. It just seemed feminine. Like I didn't want to be a part of that. I'd rather be someone that was, to be quite honest with you, into some bad shit. You know what I mean? Like I didn't want to be someone that was banging a tambourine and someone that's in a place full of women. That's who I wanted to be in the world. And that's who I was around. And so I say that to say, where was I at? I say that to say that what they were saying, fake Israelites, what they're saying, and how they speak, it just seemed real feminine for me. So it just wasn't for me. If it's for you, it's for you. But to your point, I would weigh it against the scriptures, and I would I would above all that I said, because that's from my personal experience. What I would say is look at the fruit, look at the products, right? Coca-Cola talks. They have advertisements. They have, their campaigns. I know how well Coca-Cola is doing by their revenue, by their notoriety, by their accolades, by their awards, by what they produce, okay? By their accomplishments, by their deeds. You know where I'm going with this. See, any man or woman that's conflicted, you need to look at the deeds of the men that are teaching. What are they doing? How do they live? How have they lived since they've learned the truth? Are they actually living up to the standards and code of conduct that is prescribed in the Bible, the law, statutes, and commandments? That is. You look at the fruit, what they produce, the men and women that are in their group. You look at them. You measure their character, their actions, etc., against what's written in the scriptures. And one thing that's amazed me since being in the truth is that most organizations where you have a lot of people, you actually, like what happened in IUIC with that girl, that happens a lot, right? In businesses, right? You have people that do that in college. A personal story: there was a kid. I'm in a dorm. In college in the States, it's like Canada, right? You have dorms or whatever. So I'm in a dorm. I had a single, and the dorm to the next dorm over, like apartments, right? So the next building or room over was this kid. I never talked to this kid, right? The one time he said hi to me was like before the weekend, and I went back home to my parents for the weekend, and I came back and they had a stretcher with a cloth over it, sheet over it. I'm like, like what the hell happened? And I remember a very strange smell coming from that hall, and apparently that kid had offed himself, had unalived himself, and they had talked about it in college, and that was that. Business as usual. You hear of all the school shootings at college. So I say that to say that many organizations, you have a lot of crazy stuff that happens. And what's amazed me about the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge is that, yes, we have events and we have issues, etc., but it's not at all, to the level of any other organization. Like the Home of the Truth, that moniker is absolutely true. Because in any other organization, what happened to Joy Morgan, etc., is just it happens. You have bad apples, etc., that stay in and then abuse people. What's amazed me about the school is that it is tailor-made to weed out, bad apples. Tailor-made to weed out bad apples. Tailor-made to weed out people that aren't sincere. If you're not sincere, you're not going to be able to continue. It's too difficult, and the payoff is not. It's typically not what an insincere person would want or would expect. I hope that answered your question.
Kind of. So what other one?
We lost Brachiala.
He's probably gonna come back in a few. You understand? We have Officer 5,000 Ahban with us. You understand? Like the man, you understand, like that made this possible in Canada, you understand? And the man that I owe my life to as well, because if it wasn't for Officer Ahban and the Mosai concert, you understand, I would still be smoking weed today, you understand? So you helped me a lot, you understand, through going through that. I'll forever be thankful to you, I don't want.
I appreciate that, man. Mosai and Christ, thank the Mosai for that. And I appreciate both of you standing strong as you have been for those many years, getting off the ground in Canada. There's a lot of tough days, a lot of long trips and long drives that I had to take, and seeing you all and you all and assisting you all really made it worthwhile. You know what I'm saying? And the all the classes that we had taught, camps we had, etc. It was great. So I thank you all for standing stiffly as you have. I really appreciate it. I got about a few minutes left here. Did you all have any more questions?
That was it on my part, other one.
That was it? Okay. All right, man. Hey, man, I appreciate it. Canada, we got Montreal's finest, or Montreal's finesse. I gotta learn French too, man. We gotta get back. I gotta get back into the French. We gotta get back into the Creole. Shout out to Officer Yatazar, Haiti. They're doing big things down there in the Caribbean. All the brothers like Cap Mosh, etc. Captain Kapash, if I forgot your name, Salakia, if I neglected to mention you, but yeah. You know, I appreciate it. Appreciate the brothers in Montreal for having me. Priest Officer 5000 Ahban signing off here. Shalom. At the water, brothers. I appreciate it.
What are the users? Shalom.
Yahaba Shem Shabbat. Shalom.
Most saying Christ, you had the pleasure of having Officer 5000 Ahban, you understand? The genius of the nation, the quantum physicist. Like, you don't even understand what goes on in Officer Ahban's brain. Like, Officer Ahban's brain is like an equation in itself. And only God knows. You understand? Salakia. But, you know, let's get to the business as usual. Give you the one west stance of what's going on in the world, what's going on in Canada, pop culture, what's going on in the nation, outside the nation, in the planet Earth. Now, if you want to know what's going on to the core of the planet Earth, you have to call Officer Ahban, because he knows everything about every single layer of the planet and other planets. Salakia. Let's get into it. Let me share my screen. So, apparently, Canadian military is about to train 300,000 public servants to shoot guns, drive trucks, and fly drones. Good night. We just thought about that with Officer Ahban. The world is going to war. You know, the world is going to war. And Canada, listen, Canada has one of the worst military personnel ever right now. The army is like ranked number 28. It's right under Taiwan. Imagine that. No Edomite nation is ready to go to war. And I don't even think Canada ever won a single war on the ground.
Right.
You know, I don't even remember if the U.S. actually won a war on the ground. I'm going to have to speak to Officer Kazak Ahmad, Officer Malak. I don't recall when has the U.S. ever won a war like on the ground. When have they ever been attacked? The first bomb that was dropped on U.S. soil was by the U.S. themselves in Tulsa, Oklahoma. You know, I don't know. I'm not an expert. All I know is that biblical prophecies come to pass, regardless of what amount of training that you're about to go through. It's a lot, y'all.
And this is beautiful to you know what I'm saying, to our ears, you know what I'm saying, like you saying exactly like you said, priest, you know what I'm saying, the Bible unfolding, you know what I'm saying, live in front of your eyes, man. And for all of you that's in Canada right now, you know what I'm saying, all of you young drug dealers and whatnot, if you think, you know what I'm saying, look at what's going on in Ukraine right now. You know what I'm saying? They're snatching men from the streets next to their, you know what I'm saying, their women and their children so they could go and fight for them. You know what I'm saying? The same thing is gonna happen in Canada, man. You know what I'm saying? When these Edomites, you know what I'm saying, start, you know what I'm saying, dying on the battlefield, they're gonna come for you, man. You know what I'm saying? Like the best hope you could have, you know what I'm saying, or chance, you know what I'm saying, is come in the UPK, man. Be a certified priest of the Most High, you know what I'm saying, and then, you know what I'm saying, you won't have to fight for, you know what I'm saying, for your oppressors, man. But you know what I'm saying, like a lot of you are going to fight. You know what I'm saying? And a message I have for all of you Edomites, instead of focusing on black people and what we do, focus about, you know what I'm saying, like going to fight for your country. You know what I'm saying? Because it's coming. You're going to fight. It's a lot.
Okay. I just want to add to that. You don't have to be white to be drafted, just to let you know. Some East Indian students went to Russia or Ukraine. I think he went to Russia. He was drafted right away. Listen, you know, the only thing that you have to do as a so-called black, Latino, or native brother or sister is coming to the I.S.U.P.K and the Command and Join YAHANNA. If you want to be protected, if you want to actually fight for your people, the military, Canadian military, the American military, the British military, secret services, the French MI6 or whatnot, is not the way. I'm telling you right now. You understand? It's already bad. It's about to get worse. So like y'all one.
And also for, you know what I'm saying, for my Haitian that love the military, you understand, just like you heard Officer Ahban said, he chose the UPK because we are militant, you understand. This is the military that you should be in, you know what I'm saying, the I.S.U.P.K. You know what I'm saying. If you think that you have protection being, you know what I'm saying, under the military, you know what I'm saying, flag or banner of your oppressor, just remember, like, you know what I'm saying, I believe it was last Sunday or the Sunday before, when we had the story of the Levites, you know what I'm saying, in Laval. You know what I'm saying, one of them is a security, you know what I'm saying, officer in the metro of Montreal, and the other one in the army. and they were treated like, you know what I'm saying, like just any regular, you know what I'm saying, poor black man. You know what I'm saying? So don't think, you know what I'm saying, because you're in the military and they're gonna respect you or love you. Nah, there's still racism in the military. You had that white woman, the you know what I'm saying, the devil, you know what I'm saying, that was crying because of racism in the army. You understand?
Right.
So being the I.S.U.P.K, man, come build, you know what I'm saying, your people, you know what I'm saying, come defend your own people, man. That was it.
So, like, I just want to bring up a verse real quick before we move on, right? This is one of my favorite verses. It's Isaiah chapter 31, verse 1. It says, "Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help." It's not talking about physical Egypt. That's long after we were freed from actual Egypt, Metazorayim in the Hebrew, right? Egypt just means your land of captivity, which is where we are today in Canada, America. You understand? Spiritual Egypt, wherever we held captives. Woe meaning death and destruction to you that go, you know, ask your oppressor for assistance, for help, for protection. And stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many. You're going to join the military thinking, you know what, you have to side with the white man because the white man is the most powerful living creature on the face of the earth. When you're sadly mistaken. You understand? Don't look at all the weapons they got. Listen, if the white man's so powerful, how come they lost the war, the Vietnam War? How come they lost the war against Afghani people? They went to war in the desert with people wearing chanclas and robes, throwing rocks at each other. You understand? They don't manufacture guns in Afghanistan. All they had is AK-47 that they got from the Russians that were all rusted out. And the Americans still lost the war. But you trust in America because they claim to be the big bad wolf, the big bad boy on the block. It's just a make-believe reputation. America is not that strong. Canada is not that strong. The whole white society is not as powerful as they make it seem. But because it's an image, and just like John Muhammad said multiple times, art controls the people. What the people are made to believe by what they see, it controls how they think. And because the white man shows that, you know, listen, I colonized all the earth, then you believe that he's the most powerful living creature on the face of the earth when you're absolutely mistaken. Let me keep reading. And in horsemen, because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel. Who's that? Is the Most High God. The Most High God of Israel, the Holy One, the one who's set apart for the nation of Israel, the 12 tribes, so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians.
Right.
Neither seek the Lord. Let me jump down to verse 3 because this was the most important part, right? It's right here. Now the Egyptians are men. Those people that you think are the most powerful people on the face of the earth, what do people like to say? We all bleed red. Guess what? They bleed red too. They breathe oxygen. And when they die, they die. They're not immortal. No empire ever lasted forever. There's only one empire that will last forever, and it's the empire of Christ, the kingdom of God.
Yeah, right.
Ruled by Yahawashi Mashiach in the Hebrew, who you call Jesus Christ, the nigger king, whose people is the niggers, spicks, and savages. You understand? We will rule forever. You keep reading. Now the Egyptians are men and not God. These people are just, you know, people. They're crackheads. They're regular white people. The regular white man, crackhead or not, it's just a man. He has no power. He makes you believe he's powerful. The only way these people have you believe they're powerful is because you trust in what they make you perceive. You don't trust in the Lord. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart. That's what the Bible says. The Bible says, listen, you trust in the Most High God and his way is perfect. He'll be a buckler, meaning a shield. He will defend you. You understand? If you trust in your enemy the nation that the Most High hates the most. This is who you trust in? A nation that the Most High gave nothing else but desolation. Good night. And their horses flesh and not spirit. When the Lord shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they all shall fail together. You're going to go into the military. Now you're going to see that they're going to be obliterated, but you're going to be obliterated with them. That's what's going to happen. You understand? Why? Because they ain't nothing. What? They're just men with a piece of metal in their hand. The Most High God will make rain, fire, and brimstone and destroy everything. Imagine that. One man, right, is going to come with 200 million angels, crack the sky open, and go to war with every single heathen nation. Every single one of them. Now, do the math. We're more than 8 billion people on earth. If you just subtract us, it's still more than one man plus 200 million angels, and they are going to lose. Christ will prevail. You understand? Salakia.
Yes, man. So, what's next? What we got next? And don't forget to like and share this class, you understand? And if you want to be live with us, make sure you understand you have, you understand, like decorum, you respect yourself, you understand, and you could add up, you understand, not add or take away whatever, you understand, and whatnot, you understand, give your 2 cents on the topics, on the videos, and what's being said, all right?
Yeah, let me put the StreamYard link in the chat to anyone who would like to ask a question live, make a comment, you understand, have decorum, be respectful, or not, as if we cared. We're just going to get kicked out.
Or Brenda Gagne, the chief of the Missisquoi Abenaki Nation. She is of 99.9% European heritage. Of Joe and Marge Bruchak, writers and academics, they are of 99.9% European descent. Of Paul Pouliot, chief of the Kausuk band of the Panakuk Abenaki, he is 100% of European descent.
Jacques T. Watso is counselor for the Abenaki Council of Odanak, a community on the south shore of the St. Lawrence River in Quebec. He revealed the results of a genealogical report on 8 individuals claiming to be Abenaki from Vermont and New Hampshire.
The conclusions are unequivocal. The individuals studied have no Abenaki ancestry. Some may have distant indigenous ancestor, but they are neither Abenaki nor close enough in time to justify any legitimate identity claim.
Mandated by the councils of Odanak and Wolinak, the report was produced under the direction of University of Ottawa's Associate Professor Daryl Leroux.
Our methodology was rigorous. We consulted about 10,000 documents, including Canadian and American archives, academic databases, and recognized genealogical sources dating from the 1600s to the 2000s.
This genealogical research focused on the leaders of the 4 groups in Vermont. They were recognized by the state in 2011 and 2012 as being Abenaki tribes. In response to the report, the 4 Abenaki chiefs issued a statement saying, "The recent so-called report published by Odanak is junk science, compiled with bias and full of factual and interpretive errors."
I met a lot of people in my life.
In the 70s and 80s, Elder Denis Obamsawin admitted to having shared his knowledge in good faith with people who claimed to be Abenaki. But now he feels disappointed after hearing the results.
Those people have not walked with us, have not shared the struggles and our grief, our celebration.
In February 2025, Councillor Watso and Professor Leroux presented a workshop at the Vermont State Capitol on identity appropriation entitled, "What If We Were Wrong?"
The issue is that the individuals in these groups do not have Abenaki ancestry.
The facts presented provoked strong reactions.
Who determines that? It's not up to you to say that.
Actually did the genealogies of every single family that they claim in their own documentation. There's no Abenaki ancestors.
The American Abenakis say their personal experience is just as valid as blood quantum. But Rick Obamsawin, chief of the Abenaki Council of Odanak, reiterated the following.
I think the easiest way to respond to that is blood is blood.
The leaders' intentions for the future are clear.
Will we bring all of this information to the state of Vermont? Yes.
According to Watso, the relationship with the Vermont governor, Phil Scott, is one-sided. They've been unable to meet with him about the validity of the Vermont Abenaki tribes. But he hopes this genealogical report puts pressure on Vermont.
On espère qu'avec ces démarches-là, il va, avec d'autres législateurs, s'ouvrir à faire une réforme complète du processus de reconnaissance en État du Vermont.
Stéphanie Desèvres, APTN National News, Odanak, in Quebec.
Listen, is it shocking? that white people claim to be indigenous when they're not? It's not. It's called being a $5 Indian. And I know it could be a derogative term to the indigenous community, but it is true that a lot of Caucasian people claim to be of indigenous descent. Now, come to find out, listen, they just brought out, and you know what's crazy? They're mad that they had to go through their own documentation, not through some random fact that the Abenaki community is claiming. No, they went into white people genealogies. They checked the white people family tree, or those who claim to be Abenakis, and come to find out, since the 1600s, there's not one indigenous drop of blood in them. And they're out here claiming, well, we are Abenakis from Vermont. You know, we want the same, we want the rights, we want the benefits, or they just claim the land when they're thieves. The Bible says that our oppressor, the white man, the devil the Bible speaks of, is a vagabond. All he does is thief. Listen, if he could, which he already does, he would steal the oxygen out of your lungs. You understand? Don't be shocked. You know, white people have been claiming that they have that Pocahontas was their great grandmother for the longest time. So is it shocking? No, but they're mad because the light is being shed on their lies. They can't lie to nobody no more because their own documentation is to prove that, you know, they are the devil the Bible speaks of, and they deceive everybody.
Right. God. And also, you know what I'm saying, like this is funny because all of them in the room looks like, you know what I'm saying, Edomites, you know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying, what I would want to ask is, like, what about the benefits that they took advantage from? Are they gonna pay that back? You know what I'm saying? Like that should be a question. Like, you know what I'm saying, all the money, God, all this money, all this wealth, some of them acquired wealth, you know what I'm saying, on the, you know what I'm saying, by usurping, you know what I'm saying, the identity of the native, you know what I'm saying, are they gonna give back that money? You understand? And this is, you know what I'm saying, the method of the oppressors. You know what I'm saying? They go somewhere, they steal the land, they steal everything, they steal your culture, they steal your name. Just like also Barakella said, they will steal the oxygen in your lungs if they could. You know what I'm saying? So now you understand why the Bible called the oppressor, you know what I'm saying, the oppressor, the devil, man, the deceiver, man. Everything is about deceiving, you know what I'm saying, with these people. They deceive the whole world. They deceive themselves. You know what I'm saying? Themselves, they are mad that they are not Abenaki, you know what I'm saying? Well, you are not. You are not a native Indian. You understand? You don't share the same struggle. You don't share the same pain. And words to the native Indian as well is, you understand, unite with those, you understand, that's in the same struggle as you, which were Latinos and the Negroes. You understand? We in captivity together, man. That should make us, you understand, at least allies. You understand? Because we go through the same pain, the same heartache, the same, you understand, oppression, you understand, day by day. You understand? Unite, you understand, with us. You understand? Instead of uniting with the oppressor that's stealing your name. So like,
imagine that stealing the land was not enough. Now you have to steal the name, you have to steal the history, you know, but you will not steal the struggle. Because I don't see white people living under bridges in Montreal. I see the natives. You understand? I don't see white people. Listen, as an Abenaki, right? Why are you not complaining about getting clean drinking water?
Right.
You see, that's not the problem. You're not sharing the struggle of the true Abenakis. Why don't you see white people on native reservations saying, well, we're not getting clean drinking water? Why don't you have the red hand stamp on your face saying we should protest more to find missing and murdered indigenous women? Aren't you a so-called Abenaki? Don't you claim to be a true Abenaki? Why are you not protesting to get the land back? I forgot. You already stole the land. You don't have to request to get the land back. You already got it, right? See, that's the problem. Our oppressor, the white man, is the goddamn devil the Bible speaks of. He'll make you believe, well, I'm an Abenaki descent because my great-grandmother, your great-grandmother, who may have been indigenous, was raped, and you're just proud about that? Right. Like, there's no true mix between whites and indigenous. That's a false premise that we learned that in high school. And I had a conversation with the devil talking about well, in Montreal, in Quebec, there was an alliance between the Mohawk and the French settlers. That's a lie. Y'all go see the book. It's called 200 Years of Slavery in Canada. I lost the English version when we went to camp. I still have the French version right there, right? The point is, this is a part in the book. You know what the French said about the Mohawk? They said they need to be exterminated. The white man will tell you in Montreal and Quebec, well, there was an alliance between the French and the Mohawk. When you look at history, the French came to Canada and said, out of all the nations, all the indigenous nations, all the indigenous tribes, the Mohawk are the one that have to be exterminated. That's what the French said. Right. What type of alliance is that? An alliance with death? Probably. But good night. See, that's what we say. Listen, you can't, everything that sounds good from the white man's mouth, you can't trust. Because come to find out, it's a lie. And it's crazy how hypocritical they are, because their own documents, their own archives are proving that they are lying. They're not of Abenaki descent. You should owe reparations to the Abenaki in everything that you stole. Right. Besides the land, besides the oxygen, besides the clean waterways, right? Listen, you're not even gonna apologize. You say they're appalled. They're like, damn, who decides that we're not Abenaki? Your own documents, nigga. Salakia, your own documents, cracker. Good night, Salakia. Salakia, I'm gonna just leave it right there. You're the devil of Bible speaker. You should tell the truth.
Right. I'm right. And you seeing, like, you know what I'm saying, like, for everybody that's watching, you know what I'm saying, you seeing, like, you know what I'm saying, how this is, you know what I'm saying, like, being discovered right now. Now, you know what I'm saying, they're mad and whatnot. Wait until that happens to the Jewish. It's gonna happen.
Good night.
They're gonna the books are going to be open, and they're gonna realize they're gonna be doing the same thing. Matter of fact, you know what I'm saying, this is what they should be doing anyway before even giving them money. Take the skulls, you know what I'm saying, the bones of the people in the graves in Israel, match them, you know what I'm saying, with the people, you know what I'm saying, that lives in the land. And when I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying, the skulls, the bones of the real Jews, of the Israelites, not the Romans that were there, not, you know what I'm saying, the Greeks that were there, you know what I'm saying, but the Israelites, you know what I'm saying, go into their graves, take the bones, test them, and see, let's see if the Jewish people, the Jewish man and woman are these people. You know what I'm saying? It's about to happen to them as well. You know what I'm saying? We're living in the last day, and like the Bible say, knowledge shall increase. Well, you're gonna realize who the devil is. You understand? You know what I'm saying? This the end of the world shall not come without, you know what I'm saying, the falling away first. And I'm paraphrasing, but you know what I'm saying, and you're gonna realize who the real devil is, man. You know what I'm saying? And this is what's happening today. But wait until you see the Jewish man crumble like this. Wait until you see the DNA test of the Jewish people, and you're gonna realize the whole time from 1969, the I.S.U.P.K. been telling you the truth, been saying, you understand, like, these people are not Jews, but you actually, you understand, are the real true biblical Jews, man. So like it.
Damn right. So we can move on to the next one.
Yeah, the knockers are crying. It's a like it.
This is a message from an OG lesbian. The acronym LGBTQ+ is not a representation of a united community, but the strategic forced teaming of the LGB with the TQ+ that serves a dark agenda to rebrand sexual fetishes and disorders as sexual orientations. For what was once a legitimate civil rights movement, gay rights, has been hijacked quite literally by the TQ+ and used as a Trojan horse to mainstream their degeneracy. First, we have the untouchable T's, the trans cult, who want to sterilize children with puberty blockers, turn all homosexuals into surgical simulations of straight people, and destroy women's rights to enable men's fetishes. Then we have the Qs, young men feminized by sissy porn, furries and pups who fetishize bestiality, and even adult babies who fetishize infancy are all accepted and protected by the rainbow umbrella that magically transforms all scrutiny into bigotry. But the thing that requires the most scrutiny is the unspecified plus at the end, a placeholder for what's coming next. MAPS, or minor attracted people, a euphemism that is already being used to describe pedophiles who are waiting in the wings for their time to shine. Because the LGBTQ plus sexual PSYOP is not about promoting tolerance of diversity. It's about grooming society to accept depravity. And as an L, I renounce all association with it and the LGBs who are accessories to the fact. And I urge you to do the same and join the movement for LGB without the TQ plus, because we need to divorce people and we need it stat.
Well, good night. Yeah. All I gotta say is, if she rejecting the transmissioner community, is she a bigot? Listen, I'm asking about her. You understand? Is she a bigot? She's rejecting the T's and the Q's. She's an OG BGTQ. Damn. Listen, you know what? The only fact that she said is that the plus is bringing in the pedophiles. Well, that's somewhat of a fact, because the L, the G, and the B's were made by pedophiles for the most part. Were made by MAPs or mappers. However the hell you want to call them. I don't care. It's the whole community of deviants. In what Christ said this, right? Matthew 12:26, and if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? Boy, you know how great this is to see something so evil fall apart? Because it is evil. Most of y'all, whether you're L, a B, or whatever letter you identify as, are a product of child abuse. And the rest is grooming, as she calls it. She's the one who said it. You can't say I'm a bigot because I'm repeating what she said. Salakia. I'm going to just leave it at that.
It's a beautiful thing. I never thought, I would see, like, the Rainbow Coalition, the Rainbow Movement going at war, within themselves. Now, you call it the alphabet wars, man. You understand? I'm the L. Yeah. I don't want the T. I don't want the Q. Like, what the hell? Like, like, there's always a struggle. And it seems like, these people is really, in search of a struggle, in search of, like, a rush, in search of a purpose to live. Because now you don't see as much, the LGBT, they don't parade as much except during June. Nobody really gives a damn about them, really. Like, live your life, leave people alone. So now they have to find another reason to, to be, like, feel something, feel the urge of living, feel like, vivified, we could say. Feel like, like they're living or they're doing something. That's basically it. Like, she's bored, that other lesbian, woman is not giving her the pleasure that she needs. She knows she can't get it, so she's bored, really, and she needs attention. She needs, something to fight for and feel like she accomplishes something. But it's really like, it's boredom. Get yourself a man, get yourself a white man, and do what you gotta do, because that toy is not gonna cut it, and that toy is making you mad. You know what I mean? So like
he said she's bored. That's it. We're about to. I wonder what's on the next episode. I don't even wonder. I don't want to know what's on the next episode of the Alphabet Wars. Listen, it is what it is. Just know this: if you call us bigots for saying that people should not live that alternative lifestyle and change sex because it's wrong, you have to call her a bigot too, because she's saying that as well. Okay. And she's an OG lesbian. She's an OG lesbian. She's the lesbo from back in the days. She's the OG bull dagger. That's what she said. Not me. These are not my words. My words.
So like she's the one that turns them out.
Damn. Listen, she's
the final boss.
She's the root cause. She's the root cause of you flipping the page. Damn. She is the A in alternative lifestyle.
So like, why these lesbians, especially like saying like the OGs, why they always look like they have like almost the same haircuts, you know what I'm saying, the same attitude, the same clothes, you understand? Like, what the hell, man?
You know who she looked like? She looked like Neil Patrick Harris. What?
Good night, man.
She looks like this.
She did say, God. But she did say something that is true. You know what I'm saying? It is a, you know what I'm saying, a opening, you know what I'm saying, for NEMBLA, you understand? So, you know what I'm saying, for those, you know what I'm saying, pedophiles to go into, you know what I'm saying, their movement and whatnot. You understand? But you know what I'm saying, like, hey, like you said, Officer Barkella, you know what I'm saying, those maps, I don't, you know what I'm saying, you can't even talk properly with these people, man. Those pedophiles are the ones that created, you know what I'm saying, a lot of these LGBT, you understand, people. Understand?
Damn right. We can move on to the next one.
Islamic classical law, it seems like one can own a slave. So can you talk to me about that a little bit?
Yeah, and this is rooted in the Quran itself, that since the Quran has left it open as a possibility that people could own slaves, well, who are we to cancel it altogether? We human beings have no say in what God has allowed.
So when you ask the question, why didn't Islam abolish slavery? Because this mechanism is important for society.
Why didn't Islam abolish slavery abruptly? Because then it would create chaos, anarchy within the society, the social fabric of society.
Why the Palestine flag? This is Pan-African flag, red, black, and green. Yo, shut up! I didn't even know. Marcus Garvey, right? It's black people who live around here, disenfranchised, black diaspora. This is our rallying call, right? It's all that matters, right? That's what this one got nothing to do with Palestine. Hell yeah, Palestine, I'm saying Hamas, Al Jawiya, they running through doing the same thing that's being done to them. They slaughtering men, women, and children in Sudan right now, so I could give a fuck. Fuck that people, you heard? Fuck yeah. Yeah. I love that dude.
Islamic.
You know what? We should have played that clip for the sister yesterday, talking about the Islam freed the slaves. It's sanctioned. It's sanctioned in the Quran. You know what? It's not our words. These are imams. You say, well, we don't know nothing about Islam. We're not imams. No sweat. The imams are right here. They're saying sanctioned in the Quran. Don't take our words for it. Listen to your imams. They're the ones saying it right here. You know, and just like I think it's a brother, because Africans don't talk about Pan-Africanism, right? Who was rocking the flag. He's saying right now what's happened to the Palestinians, they're doing the same thing in Sudan. Don't you know in Islam they have a caste system? They don't give a damn about, listen, the Africans could be Muslim right now. They don't give a damn about the African Muslims. There's a hierarchy system in Islam. The top ones are the Arab Muslims, then the non-Muslim Arabs. Imagine that. They're not Muslims, but they still have brotherhood over the Muslims, Africans, or the converts. Just so you know, that, like the sister said, there's no racism in Islam. Islam freed the slaves. There's absolutely racism. You know how I know? Outside of the studies that I made in the world, I had some neighbors from Morocco. I have a cat that I know in high school. He's from Egypt today. He told me straight up, Arabs don't like black people.
All right.
You know, he's like an exception. Why? We went to high school together. He has black friends, but as a whole, Arabs don't like black people. That's a fact, Muslim or not. So yeah, here you go, Salakia.
And the Ishmaelites said, you understand, we can't, you understand, we can stop slavery because it will destroy their society. How? Like, you understand, like the only way I could think of is like, that's because you're lazy and you depend on somebody else to do the work. And you know, like if, you know what I'm saying, you don't have slaves, then you know what I'm saying, you won't do the work that slaves are doing. So, you know what I'm saying, like these people are cruel, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's for all of you, like Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian, especially the women nowadays, because you know what I'm saying, the Arabs have a lighter complexion, you know what I'm saying, the silky smooth hair and whatnot, you know what I'm saying, you think they're better and whatnot, you know what I'm saying, they're your Persian princes, you know what I'm saying, the Arab prince, you know what I'm saying, these people hate you and they look at you like whores, you know what I'm saying, they don't look at you as human beings, you know what I'm saying, the dog has more value to them than you, their camel, you know what I'm saying, has more value to them than you. You understand? You just something, you understand, to be used. Why? Because you're not them. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a important, you know what I'm saying, like a, you know what I'm saying, a lesson for you to get, you know what I'm saying? Like, and this is why they call you Abid among themselves. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because they look at you as slaves. You know what I'm saying? That's how Muslim call you. You know what I'm saying? Even though they don't say in front of your face, if you understand it, they might even do, you know what I'm saying, since they know you don't understand what it means. But when you hear, like, you know what I'm saying, the Muslim call you Abid or say Abid, they're saying you slave. You know what I'm saying? They're talking about you. You know what I'm saying? So these people, you know what I'm saying, that you realize, you know what I'm saying, why these people don't tell you your identity and don't love you, man, because they look at you as slave. They've always been and they always will until we take over, you know what I'm saying, and rule over them. It's a lot.
Imagine that. It's a lot.
Whites of South Africa are native. What do I mean by that? I mean that South Africa, prior to colonization, was not inhabited. The only group that inhabited South Africa around the time of the Dutch's arrival was the Khoisan. The Khoisan are a nomadic people, and they look like other South African populations, meaning they don't look like what we consider black. The black people of South Africa largely came later, many of which around the same time as the Dutch. They largely came from modern-day Cameroon. And so the argument that you hear that black South Africans are like the indigenous and these white people are terrible colonizers, that comes from Pan-Africanism. The Dutch settlers that colonized South Africa, they did so on land where people were not living. The bush of South Africa is not conducive to building a society. The Khoisan were nomadic and a very, very small population that we're not even sure naturally comes from South Africa. And so if the Dutch were the first people to build a permanent settlement in South Africa, that makes them indigenous. Like American Indians came through Siberia and then were the first to establish settlements in what's now America. And so we consider them native in the sense that they were the first to set up shop. The Dutch, the Boers, it's the same thing. They were the first to set up shop in South Africa. So if you don't believe that the Dutch settlers became the indigenous of South Africa, then you also don't believe that American Indians are indigenous. The whites...
Listen, the white man is diabolical. First of all, the natives did not come from Siberia, but that's a whole different story, right? This man is really making an argument to say white people are indigenous to South Africa. Is exactly just like the white people in southern Quebec by Vermont saying that they're Abenakis.
Yeah,
hey, you can't make this up. Like, he made a whole argument to say, listen, the people who, imagine that, he said the people who are already in South Africa did not stay in one place in South Africa, therefore we can't count them as indigenous to South Africa. The Dutch who came to colonize, and he used the word colonize to describe an indigenous people. Damn, you can't make me not believe that the white man is not the devil.
Right.
Salak, y'all, one. This is diabolical.
And so, look, I just want to add as well. Why does he look like a OG lesbian though? But he look like the OG lesbian and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, but white people, you know what I'm saying? Like, we'll steal everything, you know what I'm saying, on the face of the earth, man. Everything, man. You know what I'm saying? They can't be honest with themselves. They can't say, you know what I'm saying? They always got to, you know what I'm saying, like, put themselves in a positive light. So I don't know, like, they don't feel bad about themselves or what they have done. But, you know what I'm saying, like, every day is live with these people, man. They can't be honest for like 5 seconds, man. Damn. It's a lot.
He really said, he made a whole argument to say white people are indigenous to South Africa. I can't believe this. It's bad. You see, the white man being the devil, it's not because he has horns. You understand? He's a deceiver. And if you truly believe that, listen, everything white people said, just take it with a grain of salt. They are the devil. If they tell you they're the devil, believe them. If they tell you they're monsters, believe them. If they tell you they're evil, believe them. Now, if they tell you they're good people, hey, that's up to you at your own risk and peril. As far as me, you know, I'm gonna be cautious all the time. I cannot trust a white person. His argument is the reason why. Because he will take the phone from you. He will take your iPhone and say, it's my phone, even though it belongs to me. They're going to say it's his phone. Why? Because it's a white man's phone. How is it a white man's phone if I bought it? Well, Steve Jobs, a white man. He's going to use our stupid arguments like that just to steal what belongs to you. You understand? You're going to come to America and say, well, America is a white man's land. How so? If there were indigenous people over here. Well, America is not an indigenous name. Are you serious? Yes. That's really the psyche of a white person. You understand? Just to justify their wickedness. Okay, we can move on unless you want to add something to it. I want to lock you.
Allah, I just can't pat, you know what I'm saying? Can't put it past me how he looks like, you know what I'm saying, the OG lesbian. So like it.
OG night. Step down.
What's your age?
I'm 25.
Are you single?
I'm in a relationship, a long-term one,
How long have you been with your man?
like a year and a half.
And he doesn't care about how you came out tonight with your girls?
No, not at all. Like, we're very comfortable. Like, we're starting a company together and everything. We're very much comfortable, and we have a lot of confidence in the relationship. So I go out all the time. I'm always outside.
In your mind, why do you feel like most men wouldn't be comfortable with their woman coming out dressed as you are?
What are you saying about how I'm dressed?
I'm saying that your nipples are out.
I mean, shit. I feel like it's because most men are like uncomfortable, and I feel like when you view women as like property rather than their like individual beings, like you get possessive over like how they creatively express themselves. Because I feel like fashion is a way I express myself, and my boyfriend being chill with whatever I wear, like it makes me happy because then I get to be myself, and I feel like that's all you want in a relationship at the end of the day. Like two people being their full self, but still like loving together, growing together,
Je te montre comment faire des chicken tenders.
Boy, listen. That's bad. He said, don't your men care about how you dress? He said, how am I dressed? Well, your nipples are out. Shit. He said, if you start viewing women as possessions, well, we don't give a damn about what heathens think, but a lot of our sisters model their mindset after heathens. Our sisters are princesses of Zion. You understand? They are the real biblical Jews of antiquity, the Israelites. And here's this is what it is for our sisters who want to complain about, well, I'm not his possession. I'm my own self. This is my body, my choice. Ecclesiasticus 36:24 said, he that getteth a wife beginneth a possession. You're mine. Your titties belong to me. You understand? They're not for the world to see. They're for my eyes to see only. You understand? Now, if you have a problem with that, you should have thought about it twice before spreading your legs open, because now you belong to me. You understand? And it's a great, imagine that, it's a great thing, because you're trying to see it as a negative aspect just because of the trauma of slavery. I'm a possession that belongs to you like a slave. I care for what belongs to me. I care. If a man buys a car, right, the car belongs to him. He's going to be careful with that car. He's going to make sure the car is always taken care of. The oil is changed. Good night. He's going to splurge you like he splurges the car. Just like he buys you a necklace, some earrings, I don't know, whatever the hell you like. He buy you some clothes. He's going to put some rims on that car. He's going to make it shine all the time. He's going to take care of his possession. And imagine that women have an issue with them saying, well, me being his possession, it sounds wrong. Well, your kids are your possession. They belong to you. They're your kids. It's only an issue when it becomes to a woman belonging to a man. And you should want to belong to a man, because now he's your protection. You understand? You're covered under his wings. You want to be covered under it, especially in the times that we're in right now. You don't want to be walking around with your titties out. What's wrong with you? And then you want to complain about, well, men are sexualizing women over it. You're sexualizing yourself. You're walking with a see-through blanket. You're walking with a see-through tablecloth on you. You understand? Look at this, right? You're walking with a see-through tablecloth. This is like a veil on your body. You want to complain? Let me finish the verse real quick. A help like unto himself, a pillar of rest. That man is stressed the hell out with that woman walking with her breast out. Everybody can see your nipples. He's sleepless. You're not a pillar of rest if you dress like that disgusting, filthy, rat-eating heathen. Verse 25, where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled. What is a hedge? A hedge is a protection. A hedge is like it's like a wall that is there to protect the possession, that is there to protect you. You should want to be the possession of a man. So he is your hedge. He is protecting you. You get into a car crash, he's there to take responsibility. Right? Listen, I don't think you fathom how it's an honor for you to be under that man. The man, he wants nothing but for you to be safe. I'm not even talking about the times of war they're about to get. And rape is rampant during war. Right now, sisters talking about, well, women are not safe. We're being catcalled and this and that. Or, over-sexualized and eyes on us like they're perverts. What do you mean? You're walking outside damn near naked. Talking about perverts? Cover yourself. Like the man said, yo, don't your men have an issue with how you're dressing? She said, how am I dressed? Your nipples are out, bitch. Damn, Salakia. No, I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, she's a loose leg, man. You know what I'm saying? She's a loose leg. And also, like, you know what I'm saying, just like you brought the verse, like, you know what I'm saying, if the man doesn't even care her leaving the house like that, you know what I'm saying, like, he doesn't even really care about her, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't care about her protection, you know what I'm saying, a modesty, you know what I'm saying, a reputation, you know what I'm saying, like, something that I can't, you know what I'm saying, like, I can't stop thinking is we were blessed in a way because our mothers didn't act like this. Imagine being a young boy, you know what I'm saying, especially on the internet today, seeing your mom naked in front of everybody, the type of shame that you will have as a young boy, you know what I'm saying, learning that your mom is a whore, you know what I'm saying, that she's having sex with this guy, that guy at the same time, you know what I'm saying, knowing this, you know what I'm saying. So imagine that, you know what I'm saying. Meanwhile, she has a whole husband, and you know what I'm saying, she goes out, like, you know what I'm saying, showing everything that belongs to him. You know what I'm saying, well, you know what I'm saying, but I understand there's a lot of simp out there, you know what I'm saying, like that's with these women. But she's not gonna stay with him. She's having sex with other men as well. You know what I'm saying? She's a loose leg. It's a lot.
She's a loose titty.
God.
Good night.
Just loose everything.
She's everything loose. It's a lock, yeah. Let me on that same topic, right?
Of a man not to like. Is it insecure of a man not to like or want you to dress sexy in order for you to be his wife?
What's sexy?
What I got on, like what I got on right now.
Oh, let me, I gotta get a good look at you. Let me see, where your shirt at? Kitty, what do you think?
I think that sometimes some of y'all women really don't understand how territorial men are. It's different if you were covered up, but baby, you got tape on. So yes, of course, a man who knows how men are going to look at you, knowing that there's going to be men who are going to be predators or going to pursue you, he's right for saying that. That's not meaning that he's insecure. He's territorial. That's a man's nature, and that's absolutely okay. It's your responsibility as his woman to understand his nature and to also have boundaries with yourself, knowing what you are exposing yourself to. I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna be quick. I'm so glad I can have conversations with my husband because I asked him, we had a deep conversation. I said, what is it about women that will make you not wife her? And the first thing he said, the way she presents herself. That's coming from a man. Men will tell you that if you dress provocative, they're going to see you as an object. Stop calling men insecure. That is their God-given right to say, I don't want my woman to present herself out here because not only is she a representation of
Yeah, you understand? Like, you don't want to listen to us. Listen to a sister telling you, stop dressing like a whore. She's out here walking with a jean jacket and no shirt on, like titties out, loose leg and loose titties. Listen, imagine that. Your women are complaining about being objectified all the time. You're walking around naked. You only have a blanket on, and you want to complain, well, people are looking at me like, a piece of steak. You're dangling yourself in front of hungry predators every day. You want to complain that these predators are pursuing you. And imagine what example you're showing your daughter or your son, because now How is your son going to treat other women just like you're being treated, or you want to be treated? Because clearly you don't care about self-respect. How? Because imagine that you're in a convention walking around with an open jean jacket and no shirt on. You're talking about, well, is it wrong to dress sexy for my man or whatnot? If you're walking around like that in public with no shirt on, just days out, yes, it's wrong. I don't even know how she tried to present that question, the way she's dressed. You know what she was looking for? She was looking for one of the sisters on stage to just agree with her, to just show her some false sisterhood, to not slut shame her. You're a slut. I'm not even mad of, I don't care of saying it like that. We should bring back slut shaming for you to understand. It's wrong for you to just be walking around naked. It's wrong for you. It's wrong. Just like I already said, imagine your kids are going to watch you like, yo, how are you parading yourself as a whore? Your kid, now, you know what he's going to do, your son? He's going to look for a whore as a wife. You're going to tell him, don't wife her, she's a whore. Well, mom, that's how you used to dress. I just want a woman that's like my mom. That's what your son is going to say. Now you're going to say, well, you're going to tell your daughter, don't, walk around like a whore, put some clothes on to protect yourself from predators. She's going to say, well, mom, you used to dress like that and you didn't have an issue, clearly. That's what's going to happen. And don't give me that dumb look on your face like, well, I'm really, I thought it was an innocent question. You know exactly what you were doing. And now you're appalled that the women is not agreeing with you because they don't agree with our sisters being whores, but they should not. Let's bring back slut shaming once and for all. Salaki.
What you said is true. She was seeking validation. I said that's what she was doing. And also when she said, you want to dress sexy, for your man, do it in front of in your house. If you're gonna go outside, like this, you're not dressing for your man. You outside, your man is not even there. You know what I'm saying? And you are, like there's something that people, women don't need to understand. I know like this society is like, pushes feminism. It's all about you. Once you're into a relationship, you enter into that relationship, you become exactly the representation of your man. When people look at you, they look at your man. When you disrespect your man, when you cheat on your man, you give the ground for them to disrespect your man as well. When you dress like this, people are looking at your man like, yo, your bitch is, like your bitch is a bitch. She's walking like this and whatnot with no self-respect. With no respect for you as well. You are the representation of your man. Just like the man, represent exactly, like this body. Just like we represent Christ, just like Christ represent God, you represent your man outside, man. So that tells a lot about your man, your character, and the way you respect or disrespect your man in the house by not respecting him and presenting yourself like a sexual object, And it is not fashion. Yeah, let me just finish this one. It is not fashion. Like, remember, we were in slavery and our mothers and sisters, were undressed, in front of everybody. So this is really like, like you really showing you still a slave by being, like a whore and being naked out there, because that's how they put our foremothers, like in selling them, in the auction market and whatnot. They were naked. And today you replicate that as well, and you think like it is dressing sexy for the world. Nah, dress sexy, do it in the comfort of your house, between your walls and your man, because appreciate it. You go outside, have some decency, man, have some modesty. So like it.
Damn right. Do that for your man in the comfort of your house to dress sexy. You want to be parading yourself around, titties out, just a jean jacket. Do it in private for your man. In private, not in public. And then again, you know what's the crazy part about what you say? You represent your man. A lot of sisters are going to say, no, I represent myself. I'm my own self. Well, listen, let your kids run wild, and don't complain when your kids run wild and do some crazy shit talking about, well, they're going to perceive me as a bad mom. They're going to say, I don't give a damn. I represent myself. Just like the kids are a representation of how good or bad of a mother you are. Well, you are a representation of your husband as well. Just like your husband is a representation of Christ and Christ is a representation of God. You know, stop being a selfish bitch, Salaki. You know, don't, because then your kids are gonna say the same shit. You can't say nothing to them. You know why? Because when your husband was saying something, you know what you told them? You told your husband, well, he can say nothing to you. Get that shit straight in your head. Salakia. Let's
you know what I'm saying? Like Salakia, you know what I'm saying? Like the sister should have told her, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Keep them sagging and loose titties for your man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nice.
Salakia.
Listen, yeah. Damn.
I'm not paying for them.
Okay, but I asked them to come and they said they will come with us. And I said,
You asked them to come, not me.
Okay, but I asked them to come and I said my man got money. Like,
Okay, I got money, but I'm not paying for your friends. They are not my friends.
Okay, but now I look like a liar. I look like I'm lying.
That's not my fault though. That's not my fault. Because Misha, she got a man. Her man can pay for hers. Tell her man to send her some money.
No, I said you gonna do it though.
No.
I said no man coming. I want you to be there, but you don't got it. You broke?
No, I yes, I'm broke. I'm broke.
No,
I'm broke.
No, you not
I'm broke.
though. You not though. But you can go spend money on Balenciaga artists. But I asked you to do something for me. You can't do it.
I'm doing it for you. I'll pay for you, but not your friends. And I don't even like Keisha because Keisha talk extremely too much.
You don't talk too much.
Every single time we argue, Keisha talking about that's why you shouldn't be with him. And then she always trying to get you to cheat on me. No, I'm not messing with Keisha.
Okay, because maybe you should stop arguing. It ain't about that right now. Like, no, I need you to pay for them just this one time, like for real.
I'll pay for you, but not your friends.
Listen. I don't see what's the argument. And the nigga, yeah, he did the greatest thing ever, right? He said, are you broke? He said, yes, I'm broke. She said, no, you're not. Bitch, listen, tell their men to pay for them. What am I, a walking bank account? Like, am I your personal loan? Talking about I pay for you and your friends, and they have their men. Tell your friends, call your men who you deem as a wallet, and tell them to send you some money so we could all go out to eat together. Why do I have to pay for you and your friends? Don't they have men? If they have a man, listen, tell them, call your man and tell them to send you, I don't know, wherever you're going to eat at, how much you're going to need. Tell them to send you the money. That's it. This nigga is not married to her friends. They have their own man. And they seem that the man is their wallet. So if they have their own wallet, tell them to, you know, withdraw money from their own man accounts. Salaki.
And there's an important part of the video also, like, you know what I'm saying, when he said Keisha is always pushing you to cheat on me, and she said, yeah, but whatever, you know what I'm saying, but that shouldn't even be considered as a friend, because she's telling you not to destroy your relationship. You know what I'm saying? Not, you know what I'm saying, coming from the world, you know what I'm saying, our sister doesn't understand that you cheating on that man is a sin. You understand? And the salary of it, you understand, is death. You understand? She's really telling you, you understand, like she would rather you die than be happy with that man. She would rather to see you die. You understand? God punishes you. You understand? Like, and that's how the demons come in your life sometimes. You understand? Through, you understand, bad advices from friends. You understand? You understand? Like you're probably gonna see, like, in the, you know what I'm saying, like, hopefully not, for the brother's sake, you know what I'm saying? There's another video that come out, you know what I'm saying, he didn't want to pay, then she had sex with another guy that's willing to pay. You know what I'm saying? But her friends telling her to, you know what I'm saying, cheat on that brother, you understand? It is extremely diabolical, man. You understand? She shouldn't even be your friend. You have a friend that tells you, you know what I'm saying, like, leave your man or cheat on your man, you know what I'm saying? Stop calling her. You know what I'm saying? Like, block her number. You know what I'm saying? Because she's telling you, you understand, to do something that's so evil. You know what I'm saying, according to God's eye, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm gonna tell you, you know what I'm saying, like, how it's evil as well, because you see, like, us following, you know what I'm saying, these other nations, God calls it, you know what I'm saying, like fornication, you know what I'm saying, adultery with these other nations, because we follow their custom. And this is why, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, we in the situation we're in right now. Adultery, you know what I'm saying, is extremely a wicked sin. You know what I'm saying? Just like every sin, but it shows that you don't have no type of loyalty. It shows that you don't have, you don't stand on nothing. You don't stand on your words. You understand? Meanwhile, you have a friend, you know what I'm saying, or so-called friend that's telling you to cheat on your man. You shouldn't even have, you know what I'm saying, call that friend. You shouldn't even, you know what I'm saying, talk to her. You know what I'm saying? And now you know what I'm saying, imagine asking him to pay for her food and whatnot. Meanwhile, she's telling her that she has to cheat on him, man. That's evil as hell.
Yeah, that's diabolical. So bye, Keisha. It's a lot. Elon Musk's father says America is doomed if white people become the minority. Claims that apartheid fed black South Africans. Boy, this is exactly what we talked about with Ahban. They're trying to really forget about making America great again, making Europe great again. They're trying to make the world white again. Imagine that. Like how is that so where white people, this is exactly why white people commit genocide. It's called the Great Replacement Theory. Came from what, the early 1930s or something like that, by a Frenchman. He said, well, France is going to be Muslim and black and Arabs. The Americans are saying the same thing. Clearly, the white South Africans who are not indigenous to South Africa are saying, yo, listen, we cannot become the minority. The only way for white people not to become a minority is to commit genocide. They don't reproduce as fast as the other people on the planet. Don't you know that? Salakia, other one.
Salakia, they'd rather be, you know what I'm saying, like OG lesbian. That's why they're not reproducing. They are there being OG lesbian and OG gays and whatnot. Like they want all the OGs, you know what I'm saying, with the letters behind it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why they're not reproducing enough. And you know what I'm saying? Maybe if you leave black people alone and stop thinking about what black people are doing, you will focus more on that woman. You will have more kids, man. You know what I'm saying? White people have some babies now, you know what I'm saying? Like, because the kingdom is coming. We're not going to build the kingdom like that. You know what I'm saying? We need workers. You know what I'm saying? Christ is coming back. You know what I'm saying? We're going to need workers, you know what I'm saying, to work in the field and whatnot, you know what I'm saying, while we rule the world. You know what I'm saying? Just like you did. You know what I'm saying? So have babies, white people. I encourage, you know what I'm saying, I advise, you know what I'm saying, every white, you know what I'm saying, like white person, you know what I'm saying, to have multiple babies. I have 10 babies, man. You understand? Some are going to be like for the lake of fire. You know what I'm saying? And the rest are going to be for the fields. We need workers, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, prepare your mind, prepare yourself, prepare your spirit, you know what I'm saying, to go work, you know what I'm saying, and build the kingdom, you know what I'm saying, work and construct the roads for black people, you know what I'm saying, like in the kingdom of Christ, in the kingdom of God, man. You know what I'm saying? Have babies, man. We want all white people. We are, you know what I'm saying, pro babies, against abortion. Have more babies, white people. We don't want to see you become a minority on the earth. Make babies so we could have, you understand, servant in the kingdom of God, just like the Bible says. So like,
or not. Listen, you're gonna go extinct regardless. The point is, y'all should be careful out here, because the only way the white race can avoid becoming a minority is to start killing you off. Listen, that's the only way white people are able to not become a minority. Genocide. So y'all be careful out here. And to all my brothers and sisters, you know, so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, it's a dangerous place out here outside the I.S.U.P.K.
Right.
You understand? Salakia. A question for the fellas. Some idiot said, your wife got pregnant by another man by mistake. As a good husband, what will you do?
Yeah, damn.
I'm going to tell you this. I will not make the mistake of taking her back. She's not mine no more. That's that nigga problem. That's that nigga's wife.
God.
You know, damn. As a good husband, listen, how am I a good husband if she's not my wife no more? Imagine that. She got pregnant by mistake. Did she have sex by mistake?
So like, she must be Jewish. She fell on the rod.
She fell on the rod. She slipped and fell on the rod. You know, by mistake. Who was that man? Was it the Holy Spirit? Good night. How do your wife get pregnant by another man by mistake? She's a slut by mistake. She got possessed. She's a whore. And there was no mistake.
So like as a good husband, I would suggest, you know what I'm saying, for all of you men that might be going through this, as a good husband, be a good husband enough to get you another wife.
Yeah, that's it. Just do that. Because mistakenly they were not wearing a condom, and mistakenly he bust up all his juice in her. Mistakenly, you understand?
She must follow the Talmud. You know what I mean?
It was a mistake. Listen, if your wife comes to you like, yo, listen, I got pregnant by another man and it was a mistake. How many other niggas that were mistakes that she just didn't get pregnant by? You know? That's nefarious, diabolical. It's a lot.
Just mistakenly, you know what I'm saying, like take everything and, you know what I'm saying, you have in the house and get the hell out. You know what I'm saying? Do that by mistake as well.
Mistakenly get out of her life. Okay. Remove yourself from the equation mistakenly.
But Salaka, you know what I'm saying? Salaka, there's a lot of men, you know what I'm saying, like that's going through this, you know what I'm saying, like not knowing, having discipline or knowledge or wisdom, you know what I'm saying, and you know what I'm saying, being raised by a mother, you know what I'm saying, by simple mothers that will take that woman back and raise that kid, you know what I'm saying, as their own. You know what I'm saying? That's not your kid and that's not your woman no more. You know what I'm saying? And that woman will never respect you. You know what I'm saying? She will always keep doing the same thing over and over. Why? Because you gave her the ground to do it by taking her back. You know what I'm saying? You give her the ground to do it, you know what I'm saying? And she will never respect you. She will never, you know what I'm saying, see you like, you know what I'm saying, like the image as of a man. You know what I'm saying? She will always disrespect you because of that action of you taking her back. You know what I'm saying? So do not do that mistake and take her back. You know what I'm saying? She have sex with another man, leave that hoe, you know what I'm saying? Leave that hoe to that other man. She's for the street. You know what I'm saying? Just like the lady, the Eden that was dressing, you know what I'm saying, like with the tablecloth, you know what I'm saying? And she say, I'm outside every day. I'm outside all the time. Well, tell you know what I'm saying, leave her outside. Get you know what I'm saying? There's gonna be a woman, you know what I'm saying, that you're gonna find out that will never, you know what I'm saying, by mistake, you know what I'm saying, sleep with another man. That will never disrespect you. That will never, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, make you ashamed and, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, diminish your masculinity, you know what I'm saying, your manhood. You know what I'm saying? Like, have a woman, find a woman like this. And if you're Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, the best place to find a woman like this is inside of these school. You know what I'm saying? Like in this school, you know what I'm saying, under commanding Jordan YAHANNA. Why? Because our sisters follow the Bible. Our sisters are, you know what I'm saying, righteous sisters, you know what I'm saying, that love them man and elevate them man and never, you know what I'm saying, disrespect them man and make them men be ashamed to be outside. You know what I'm saying? Don't let anybody, you know what I'm saying, like say anything against their man. You know what I'm saying? Just like the Bible say, your man is your Lord. You know what I'm saying? Just like Christ is our Lord and the God is the Lord of Christ. You understand? Your man is your Lord, man. You should look at your man just like, you know what I'm saying, you look at Christ. You should look at that man like that man is God to you. You understand? The sister in this school know this, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is with you, you got to come in this school and get proper knowledge, you know what I'm saying? And, you know what I'm saying, like, do not take, you know what I'm saying, a whole, like, you know what I'm saying, a whole back. So, like.
Damn right. You understand? You're going to take her back. She's going to make a couple other mistakes.
Sure. She's going to make mistakes.
Listen, she's gonna get a army in her belly by a mistake.
Yeah, she's gonna make me sick all the time.
LG 90K off say shalom. Hey, shalom. Whatever for tuning in. You know, we're about to end the show though in a minute, but we're live again. One West Ground Zero Radio podcast. We're live on I.S.U.P.K Montreal, I.S.U.P.K Toronto, and One West Ground Zero, our new YouTube channel. You understand? Every Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as usual, you already know what it is. Just for the end of the show, we're about to play our clip of white peopling. You understand? For you to understand that nobody values life more than our people. Because clearly they don't. And here's the proof.
On today's episode of Random White Acts of Danger, we have biking on the edge of the earth. Why? Strictly for vibes. Margin for error, guessed it. Death. Because low left, that is a rocky bottom. It is over. Violent, vociferous type of death. Low right, rolling down the grassy knoll. It is over. How you even find this place, son? And I be thinking now, you at the top of a mountain, so you had to bring your bike all the way up there, or did you bike up there, or did you mountain climb and then you start biking, or did you just get in a helicopter, drop you off because you like, yo, I'm about to go ride the crack. God would be pissed though, because he'd be like, yo, I made these mountains for views, beauty, maybe a little hike. You're not supposed to be biking on the edge of the world, my guy. Are you insane? Surprisingly, not sponsored by Red Bull, but hey, Red Bull, I think I just found you a new athlete. You might as well sponsor dude because what? Are you crazy? On the outro, today's episode of
Listen, I don't understand why white people do what white people do. I don't question at this point. I'm glad. The only thing I'm glad about is I could be part of the experience just by being behind the screen. Like imagine that, a POV with a what's that, the body cam, the GoPro. Imagine white people made it so that they're gonna have these in the VR. I don't have to go up the mountain and risk my life because white people are already doing it. Now, would I like them to do so? Absolutely not. Just like Adiyar said, you know, all the heathens are gonna be servants in the kingdom, right? I don't want my servants just to die because they do stupid things like right off the edge of the world. Why? Like the brother said, strictly for vibes. White people, you need to understand that your lives matter to us. We don't want you to do that. Adiyar needs his castle built. You understand? I just want a shack. You can build me a shack for my tools if you fall off the edge of the world. Because white people lives matter to us, I implore you to stop doing this. And if you don't, I mean, I'm gonna still enjoy the view because clearly you're wearing a GoPro. And I mean, he was alive. How I know he was alive because he uploaded that video and gave us, you know, the chance to share the experience. It's a lot. Yeah.
This is why. Go ahead, please. It's a lot.
Nah, I was it. It's like I'm stupid.
Salaki, this is why you're saying like you have news, and then next thing you know, that the chopper, they have to get the chopper and get them in on the mountains and whatnot. Well, the thing I would like to ask the government, like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, we pay taxes and everything. Certain services, you understand, we don't need. So can we, like, you know what I'm saying, these type of services, you know what I'm saying, can we, like, you know what I'm saying, like, not pay for them, or, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, get the money back, because you're not gonna find us, like, you know what I'm saying, on the edge of the mountain cliff, you know what I'm saying, like a whatnot, you know what I'm saying, all destroyed, and you have to call the chopper, you know what I'm saying, to pick us up, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why people think, let them pay for these, you know what I'm saying, for these, you know what I'm saying, like taxes and whatnot, you know what I'm saying, like these things that they're using, you know what I'm saying, like they're crazy anyway, like, you know what I'm saying, like we're not crazy at that point, man. Let us pay like for the hospital bills and whatnot, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, the thing that we use, but we're not using no chopper, you know what I'm saying? You don't need a chopper for black people, you know what I'm saying, to rescue black people, unless if we're on a boat, on a cruise ship or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? But things like this, they should pay for themselves, man. So I like it.
Right. And imagine that in 2025, right? Again, you could buy VR and be at the top of the mountain, skydive, or do some of the most dangerous things on the face of the earth without having to actually do them. But they can't live if death is not involved. That's the thing. One margin of error, he slips in the breeze of wind that blows the bike away. You can't. You're not gonna survive that. You can't make me believe. I don't even know. First of all, the brother said, I don't even know how you got up there. I don't even know how you came down. We know you did.
And so like
the videos uploaded. Cut.
And so like, you know, like I said, the thrill is on them. Like I said, after finishing this, that they feel proud. They'll still go back home and unalive their family. So
imagine that. Like you still go back home and take a life. This is diabolical. Listen, at the end of the day, you know, we appreciate the bike rider on the mountain for giving us the experience to share that with us, so we don't have to climb up a mountain. I don't even need VR at this point. I just rewatch the videos 1,000 times. But next time, if white people lives matter, just VR, 3D, YouTube, I don't know, Dream or some shit. Don't go up a mountain and risk your life. You know, with that said, that was another great episode of One West Ground Zero. You understand, hosted by Officer 1000 IDR and myself, Officer 500 Baraki Allah. We had the pleasure of having Officer 5000 Ahban with us as a special guest. We will have more special guests, you understand, in the future. Just bear with us, you understand. But we will be back next week again, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday. Y'all better go subscribe to the new channel, One West Ground Zero, which we're building. If you haven't subscribed yet, I absolutely believe that you are a LGBTQ person. You understand? With that said, Shalom, Israel.
Yeah. One West. I'm sorry, me need a break, I'm sorry. We work hard in a life, hustle every day and all in a night. Man a hunt for the goal and a dig it in a road and a live no life. I'm sorry, me need a break, I'm sorry. Right now me a seek time for myself and me a shell down some party. Me stressed, me a look for a recess. For me brain me a refresh. This a game me a reset. Move to the girl in a the peach dress. The body a roller, she a the neatest. She nah no man, nah that a the weakness. So me the in her ears, but not like a real pest. Nah, just a move with a vibe. Liquor we a pour, the mood is alive. If you do 9 to 5, I know you a get rich, you do realize. I'm sorry, me need a break, I'm sorry. Right now we a pour kulu rump on NSC with Campari. That is it. Move to that girl, let the body tick. What is it? You know see me a talk loud the politics. Watch it twist. No one see no ratchet flick, no matic click. No negative energy, a positive. One West I keep the peace and no magic trick. We a dance till the night gone. We a groove, we a vibe. And no care, no fear right off. Make it home with your life. Me say, me no want see you leave yet. Me no want see you depressed. We a party for de-stress. We work hard in a life, hustle every day and all in a night. Man a hunt for the goal and I mash up the road and I live no life. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Me stressed, me a look for a recess. For me brain me a refresh. This a game me a reset. Move to the girl in a the peach dress. The body a roller, she a the neatest. She nah no man, so that a the weakness. So me the in a it here, that a no real test. Nah.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're One West.